Okay, let's move to the economy now. The inflation rate moved from 15.06% in February to 15.38% in March. And the World Bank has also identified some fiscal gaps in our economy. From your perspective, how would you assess the state of Nigeria's economy right now?
I haven't read what the World Bank have identified recently because I'm sure, but I followed their recent report. But let me tell you, while I follow and maintain Nigerian, in quotes, announced inflation figures, I think the reality is worse than what they're releasing. Because the measure of inflation, some basic measures of inflation are food, housing, and transport. So when you say 15%, let me give you an example. Just yesterday, I went into a restaurant in Abuja. Just yesterday. And while my colleagues were busy, the people I came there with were busy ordering food, I decided to interview the workers in the restaurant. And I asked the first one, "How are you?" He said, "Fine." And I said, "How do you come to work now?" It comes by public transport. "How much was it costing you last year to commute to work?" It was about 700 naira. So how much is it now? It says almost 3,000. What did they say? What does the transporters tell you? He said they talked about fuel, this, that. As the second one, it was a similar situation. Then the food, and I asked them, have they increased your salary, adjusted your salary, since this fuel increase and subsequently cost of transportation? He said no. So how do you cope? They said, we're just managing. How do you calculate this in terms of inflation? The food, the person who took me to the restaurant even said to me, "Peter, this their food used to be about 9,000 plus. It's now almost 18. So when you look at all these calculations, and something is what's happening in the open market. The prices have increased. I'm sure if you talk to government, they say, price of goods have come down. Yes, price of grain, rice, because they imported some cheap rice into the system, which again had hurt our farmers in a way that the recovery would be very difficult for most of them. So that they use it to now say, the price has come down. But that's the price of one item. How about the other items? So for me, that calculation of inflation at times, I just said the reality is worse for me. But even at 15%, it is still high compared with even some of the, what I can call, country with the same trajectory. I remember our president mentioned that we are better than Kenya. And when I look at Kenya inflation, in the past 3 years, inflation in Kenya is under 4.5%. So we're talking about more than three times that. And the president said we're better than Kenya.
All right, we've depended so much on importation of fuel, one of the structural issues that previous government had always promised to address. And regrettably, with what is happening, some countries had to open their strategic reserves to be able to make life a little meaningful for their citizens. God willing, and you get into office, how do you intend to address this issue on dependence on importation of fuel?
Well, I'm happy that we have started resolving it through the Dangote refinery. Is to encourage other refineries, modular refineries and everything, like it's done everywhere in the world. It is not a difficult thing to do. It is what we require is government commitment to doing what is right.
Why do you think we seem to be averse to modular refineries?
Well, I don't think we are averse to it.
We are not encouraging it. Rather, what we hear is destruction of modular refineries, small ones.
I don't think we are averse to it. We have to have small refineries. We have to encourage Dangote and support him, the big ones and everything. We're not averse to it. We are averse to all these things because of the corruptive way we have operated as a country. How do you tell people that we've had 3 refineries that will be maintaining and paying billions of dollars over the years to resuscitate, maintain them without them doing anything, contributing anything?
You are known for the Anambra model of saving money, avoiding borrowing, and cutting waste. Given our population of over 200 million, inflation rising on a daily basis, our debt profile very high, insurgency crippling the country, if given the opportunity, how do you intend to address some of these issues?
Let me tell you one thing, because when people get it wrong when they talk about borrowing, and they talk about money, I'm not against borrowing. I'm a businessman. I built a business. You cannot build a business or invest in critical areas, even as a nation, without borrowing. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. What is important is, what are you borrowing for? Countries after countries owe more debt than we owe. Japan today owes over 200% of their GDP. But if you go to Japan, you will see what they're using the money for. And again, you can see Japan holding huge amount in US treasuries. So they are borrowing, not only just borrowing. Singapore, which people sent to cite, I don't use it because it's a tiny country. Singapore debt is over 130% of their GDP. But it was all invested. In fact, there's a law in Singapore, like in the most nations, even in ours, all borrowed money must be for investment. Once borrowed money is for investment, you get the value. But when you borrow for consumption, it's a different thing. It's a simple thing. It's like me and you now. I have borrowed to invest in this structure, which you rent for your business, and you borrowed your own for wine carrying of your wife. So the other one has been consumed. So there's no way it can come back to you. So we are not borrowing for, if you look at our debt, for example, before President Buhari became president, in 2013, call it 2015, our entire debt was 13 trillion. National debt, 13 trillion. Buhari came, and in 8 years, I'm talking Naira terms now, to make it 87 trillion. That's what was there when the present government came into being. Buhari paid subsidy in fuel. Buhari paid subsidy in electricity. Now we have a president who says subsidy is gone, no subsidy in electricity. And the reason why he's removing them is that he doesn't want to borrow money to be paying it. And the savings he wants to put in critical areas of development, education, health, and pulling people out of poverty. And now in 3 years, it's borrowed what Buhari has borrowed in 8 years without any of the areas he said improving, and we don't have subsidy again. We don't have this thing. And we're making more revenue because we're paying more taxes. So there must be something that is missing somewhere. And our budgets are not being funded. We're still operating budget of 2024. The 2025 budget, the entire capital project, the contractors are being owed, and we have had 2026 budget that has just been passed. So we have a double whammy situation. It's like when you say you have borrowed money in order to use it to build a house. Contractor who built the house was not paid. You are owing. So where's the money? Something's gone wrong somewhere.
And what do you make us having running 3 budgets almost concurrently with nothing about the capital component being executed?
It's unbelievable. It's a financial mess. The physical mess is unbelievable.
Where do we hold the National Assembly in this direction?
Well, you know, where we are now, you cannot say we have any institution functional. You know, the first thing somebody who is bent on creating chaos and anarchy does is to ensure that no institution works.